Hello and welcome back to Visit Fylde Coast. This video is all about an area of special local character. It's one way of describing Waterloo Road, which is, some would say, a little bit run down. And the streets at the back of here have all been designated as an area that merits some kind of cosseting. Cosseting, I think, is a nice word for it. So we're going to go and take a look, and it's the area between Waterloo Road, which is this one, and Station Road, which is just down there, and between here on the promenade and inland as far as Lim Road. Now, I'm not promising that I'm going to walk round all of this block, but there's some interesting buildings here that we're going to go and take a look at, and we're going to go and record for posterity. So don't forget, make sure that you've subscribed, make sure that you've hit the little bell for notifications, and don't forget to sign up for your Visit Fylde Coast email newsletter, and then you'll get all the notifications and all the updates and alerts straight into your inbox. Right, let's go and have a look, shall we? Let's go and see what we can see. So this is the area that we're talking about, and it's the block between here, Station Road down there, and Lim Road as you head inland. So it's been designated as an area of special local character, which includes buildings like, I presume this is Talbot Court. I've never seen a sign on it, but I've often thought that it would be fabulous to live upstairs in one of these flats. I'd love to go and have a look round one of them. These are the queuing lines, look, from the pandemic, when notarianis were serving people and all we could do was go out for a walk. So there's some interesting businesses down here. There's Brooks Collectibles, which of course has got the toy museum upstairs. There's Notarianis, which I shall be visiting shortly to do an ice cream review. This is the former Woolworths building. We did a vlog about this earlier on this year. And as you can see, it's in a terrible condition. But there is hope on the horizon, because it's earmarked for demolition and then developing into a residential apartment block. Now, looking at the estate agent's sign, I'm wondering whether the person that owns it has got the planning consent so that they can just sell it off to a developer. Possibly. But I can't remember whether that were there or not. This next one on the right is Bond Street, and when I was a child, this whole area used to be absolutely heaving. It was really busy, vibrant, full of businesses, full of people, full of shops, and now look at it, there's loads of it that's closed and not being used. And that's why it's been designated as an area of special local character, because it gives the council more powers to protect local heritage. And just on here, just on Bond Street, there are some really interesting buildings. As I said, there's Talbot Court on the corner with the promenade, on the corner of Waterloo Road. There's Mrs Johnson's Emporium just on the right hand side down here, which we're going to want to have a look at. There's the Holy Trinity Church, which is Grade 2 listed. Not on here, but it's on the corner of Dean Street. And there's some amazing buildings. Look at that upstairs. Just look at that red brickwork up there. Beautiful. So this is Mrs Johnson's, which was the former district bank. And her dad moved into this building in 1974 as Johnson's Wool Shop. Suzanne is now unfortunately moving out and selling up. So if you want anything, now's your time to come and find it. You need to do it quickly though, because it's not going to be open for much longer. But the building itself is absolutely beautiful. I'll show you through these hallowed doors. We've been in here before, plenty of times. Come on, Charlene, I'll hold it for you. Thank you. So you can see that it used to be a bank when you come in. And there's all this beautiful architecture and history and heritage all over the area. So hopefully designation will help to preserve a lot of this. It's an amazing shop. It's such a shame it's shutting. So if you want anything and you want to be assured of finding it open, you need to come soon. It's closing middle of August, but Suzanne, the owner, is going to try and keep it open limited hours, so it's going to be a bit hit and miss. Might be as well just check in before you set off and drive from anywhere. So this beautiful building, the Last Resort, is also one of the buildings that is of notable value, and I think you can see why without me needing to tell you. It's a beautiful building, that. Beautiful building. Trimmet outlet, perhaps not quite so much. I can remember when that used to be Ethel Austin's, and my mum used to make a beeline to that every time we came on holiday. She used to take me in for all my underwear and all my socks and vests and things. This is going back to when I was 7. We used to go in there every year. That's a nice haberdashery shop as well.
I'd laugh if Melissa. Don't try and get rid of me now.
And then of course you get this kind of thing. So something's obviously demolished, and oh, there's a boat there. That must have been a very high tide. Something's obviously been demolished and left a gaping hole, and there's loads of empty businesses. So hopefully it will help it to be looked after and cherished and brought back to life. There's another one here, look, that looks like it's been on fire. Oh goodness, you can only hope that that don't collapse, can't you? That's a beautiful building, that one there. Dated 1899 on the brick parapet. That's another one that's been really attractive as well. It's a while since I came down here. So this area can be traced back to the early 1800s, and it was known as New Blackpool originally, and formed as a completely separate community and a rival resort to Blackpool Town Centre. This is Dean Street. We used to stop on Dean Street, just down there, just on this corner. So I spent my formative years wandering around here. Now, if I remember rightly, this used to be a bank, and I'm fairly certain my dad frequented this bank on practically a daily basis to get money out. Blackpool being an expensive place and all that. What a lovely little building. What a crying shame all this architecture is just being abused. And this must be Holy Trinity Church, because that is at Dean Street. So Holy Trinity is Grade 2 listed, and you can see why as well when you look at it. What a beautiful building. So Holy Trinity was built in 1836 to serve the South Shore hamlet area of Blackpool, and Peter Hesketh Fleetwood endowed it with a tithe of £35 a year from Leighton Hawes. It's a whopping great big church. Just been for a little walk down the side street, down Dean Street, and it's massive. Look at the gargoyles up at the top as well. They're figures of might and doom, aren't they? And in 1878 it was enlarged, finally consecrated in 1889, but irrevocably damaged in a storm in 1886 and needed rebuilding. I bet they were amused. I bet they were really, really mad. The current church opened on the 27th of November 1895, and Dean Street is named after the Reverend C.K. Dean of the church. You can see from this side, look how big it is. It's enormous. Look how big it is. It's practically like a small cathedral. This is Bond Street that we're still walking down, and this was originally called Church Street, after the church, but later changed to Bond Street to avoid confusion, because of course there's Church Street in Blackpool town centre and everybody wouldn't have known where they were, would they? So the aim of the planners is to preserve the heritage of this area after a warning that commercial pressures and poor development in the past has resulted in a loss of historic shop fronts and architectural features, which has led to high vacancy levels and disrepair. Well, I think you can't argue with that, can you? And this, I believe, is Station Road. So this is the boundary of the area which is contained within the area of special local character. And if you go down there, you're at Waterloo Road. No, you're not. You're at Lim Road, left to Waterloo Road. So we'll go this way. We'll go this way. We'll walk round the block. So this is another one of the main roads that leads to the seafront. This is one of the commercial laundries that does all your bedding and your towels and your linen when you come on holiday. It's a fascinating place. There's streets and streets and streets and streets. I mean, you can see when you get around here, it's as different again. It's more well maintained, and there's hotels and ordinary residential properties. So at the end of Station Road, it joins Lim Road, and this is the other boundary of the area of special local character. When you go down Lim Road, that's the railway bridge that you can see just there. When you go beyond there, it's really quite nice. There's some very big, very nice, very select houses. You can see how some of them would have looked if you imagine them sort of renovated and done up. Look at the Bupa dentists and imagine them all looking like that. So this is the other boundary of the area of special local character, and it encompasses all of the side streets which are in between it. This is the top end of Dean Street that we're just coming up to, and this is my old stomping ground. This is where I spent my childhood. So that's the church, look, that we've just walked round the side of. This is the other end of Dean Street. And then we join back up to Waterloo Road. So this building here is the Enterprise Centre. It's the Blackpool Council building that's got offices and managed workspace inside it. And it used to be the Lido, used to be swimming baths. And I famously split my chin open swimming in there. I'd have been about 10. And I carried on swimming, me being me. Oh dear. And then I ended up in a medical centre over this side of the road. I'm not quite sure whether it's still there. I don't think it's there now, is it? Might be, I don't know. Having butterfly plasters stuck on it. Hey, I don't know, I'm a calamity, aren't I? Calamity Jane. I think it might have been that one actually, thinking about it. And then you're getting up to the shops at Waterloo Road. But look at that big red brick building there that is a solicitor's back above the Eastwood. That's beautiful. This is the Enterprise Centre. If I remember rightly, that was an West Bank as well. You can see the old architecture, can't you? This is Fylde Radio, look. Your local community radio station. Another nice little old bank building there across the road. If you just look up a little bit, if you just look above the ground floor facade, it's amazing what you see. And then look at the Royal Oak pub. It's got some beautiful detailing on it. I think that one's got a special fireplace inside. I don't think it's done by Grinling Gibbons, but if I remember rightly, it's a special one with it. Is it got a mouse carved in it? Can't quite remember what the gist of that was, but I remember somebody saying way back in the mist of time that there was a special feature to it. And this is Waterloo Road. And you know that because it says Waterloo Road on the floor. And this is a busy little shopping area. It's a busy little shopping area that's used by local people and people that are on holiday. This has always been a busy little spot. There's quite a few businesses empty, as there is everywhere. But it's still busy. And down here we've got another building that is of special interest. The old post office building on Waterloo Road, and there's a pub down here which I think is Blackpool's oldest pub if I remember rightly, the Bull on Waterloo Road. So these are obviously all new-ish. They look, I would say 1970s. I can't remember them being built, but that's the era when I would have been pacing up and down round here and spending my pennies in the markets and things. So which one's the post office? I can't quite remember. Let's have a look. I think it's either that one on the right hand side, but that doesn't look very architecturally significant, does it? It might be the old market on the left. Let's have a look. Yeah, that was a market last time I came walking down Waterloo Road. So it's either that one or that one. So if you know the answer to that, if you know which one used to be the post office, I think it's that one, isn't it? Yeah, post office. I've answered my own question there, haven't I? If you know what this used to be, I'm sure I know what this used to be, but I can't remember. Pop a comment underneath. So there you go, that's the old post office. So that's the other one that's got some degree of interest to it. Looks like a quite ordinary flat fronted building really, doesn't it? This looks like it's been a cinema or something in a previous life. Problem is that on a main road like this, nothing's ever got a number. So there's no numbers on any of the buildings and you can't tell which one's which. So you can...
Are you Jane?
I am Jane!
Fylde.
I am!
I know.
Yes, it is, it's me.
Because I watch you.
Oh, thank you!
I love your videos.
Oh, thank you!
Your garden is beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Always nice to meet somebody that watches. So this is the pub that we were looking for, the Bull. Do you know, I got it in my mind, it was on the other corner. I think I must be going, I think the heat must be getting to me. So this little pub is one of the oldest ones in Blackpool. Lovely little building. So it all needs a bit of a zhuzh, doesn't it? A bit of tender loving care and attention. And then of course we get to hearts. And as I said when we started this video, I did a video on this, specifically on this earlier on in the year, but from this angle you can see the extent of what a sorry state it's got into. And then we're back to the promenade. And my next step is Notoriani's. There's a queue now, seeing as I'm wanting to fill my face. So I hope you've enjoyed that little look around. We'll keep you posted if we see anything else happening or any other developments. We'll update you and keep you posted. Don't forget to make sure that you've subscribed. Don't forget to make sure that you've hit the bell for notifications, and don't forget to sign up for your email newsletter as well. And then when anything does finally happen with this, when they bring the wrecking ball in, you'll get the alert and you'll know that something's occurring. Until next time, we'll see you later. Bye for now.